Self-development, Lee TV. Djibouti wages war on malaria with genetically modified mosquitoes. Malaria is a deadly disease that threatens the lives of millions of people around the world, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. In this situation, Djibouti decided to introduce an innovative way to fight malaria. The idea is to release genetically modified, GMO, mosquitoes. Developed by British biotech company Oxitec, these malaria mosquitoes are males that do not bite humans, but carry a gene that prevents them from developing into adults, even if they mate and produce female offspring. Only female Anopheles mosquitoes bite and transmit malaria and other viral diseases. This is the first time a GMO mosquito has been released in East Africa, and only the second on the entire African continent. Similar techniques have been successfully used in Brazil, the Cayman Islands, Panama, and India, and more than 1 billion GMO mosquitoes have been released globally since 2019, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The first swarm of mosquitoes was released on March 23 in Amboli, a suburb of Djibouti. The pilot project is a collaboration between the government of Djibouti, Oxitec, and the non-governmental organization Association Mutualis. We've created a benign mosquito that doesn't bite and doesn't spread disease, Oxitec CEO Gray Franson told the BBC, and they will now be released into the wild to mate with females in the wild. The male mosquitoes created in the lab have a self-limiting gene that prevents the female offspring they produce after mating from developing into adults. According to the scientists involved in the project, the male offspring can survive, but the species will eventually go extinct. The Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, Anopheles kaluzi, released in Burkina Faso in 2018 were completely sterile males, but the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, Anopheles stevensii, released in Djibouti are able to reproduce. The release is part of the Djibouti Good Mosquito Program, which was launched 2 years ago to prevent the spread of Anopheles stevensii, which was first discovered in Djibouti in 2012. At the time, Djibouti was close to malaria elimination with only 30 cases of malaria. Since then, however, the number of cases has grown exponentially, reaching 73,000 in 2020. The mosquito species is now found in 6 other African countries, including Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya, Sudan, Nigeria, and Ghana. Anopheles stevensii mosquitoes from Asia are sometimes called urban mosquitoes because their populations are so difficult to control. It's hard to control, bites day and night, and is even resistant to chemical insecticides. Abdourila Ahmed Abdi, a health advisor in the office of the President of Djibouti, explained to the Financial Times that the government's goal is to bring down the number of malaria cases in the country, which has skyrocketed over the past decade. Not so long ago, malaria was rare in Djibouti, said Buhu Abdi Kaire, director of Association Mutualis. Now, we are seeing malaria cases every day across the country. We need to come up with a new solution as soon as possible. Djibouti is a city-state with a population of just over 1 million people. The country's small size made it easy to implement these new malaria-fighting projects, according to organizers. As Sada Ismail, a malaria survivor who was involved in the community-level preparation for the project, told the BBC, malaria is a serious disease that has a huge impact on our health. We are very excited to see how this good mosquito will help fight malaria. Meanwhile, GMO organisms have always been controversial in Africa. Environmental organizations and civil society activists warn of the impact they can have on ecosystems and existing food chains. However, Franson explains that in the billion genetically engineered mosquitoes released over the past decade, there have been no reported adverse environmental or human health impacts from GMOs. We are always careful to ensure that any organism we release into nature is safe and highly effective. There is no impact on the environment. They are not toxic, do not cause allergic reactions, and are specific to certain species, he added. According to Oxitec, the engineered genes are not found in the mosquito's saliva, and even if a person is bitten by an engineered mosquito, they will not be affected by the genes. This new solution is controversial, but this is the future, emphasizes Abdi. If the experiment is successful, more mosquitoes will be released next year. Meanwhile, malaria is a deadly disease that kills at least 600,000 people worldwide each year. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, 9 out of every 10 malaria deaths occur in sub-Saharan Africa. Djibouti's project to release genetically modified mosquitoes is expected to make a significant contribution to the fight against malaria. These good mosquitoes don't bite people, don't spread disease, and, after mating with a female mosquito, prevent their offspring from developing into adults. If this innovative method is successful, it will be a great help not only in Djibouti, but also in other regions suffering from malaria. However, there are still concerns about the impact on the environment and ecosystems, so a cautious approach is needed. Source: Dorcas Wangira, BBC Africa Health Reporter. Thanks for waxing.